Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Opening the Package, Toy Collecting with the Brazee-Cannon. Now, my original concept for this episode was to go over one of my favorite toy lines, which we will go over in a future one. A short-lived toy line that I loved and think has some of the best pieces ever. Not going to say the name yet, I'll leave it as a surprise when that comes up. But then yesterday, at the stores, I saw something that inspired what this episode will be. It's an episode I would have probably done sooner or later anyways, but when you see something that just inspires you, you go with it. So, as is fairly common knowledge, recently Angry Birds released a brand new version. Angry Birds is a very common iPad application. It just came out with the Star Wars themed version. Needless to say, Hasbro didn't waste any time. They had a line of toys ready to go as soon as the app hit. And I was looking at them thinking, these look pretty cool. They're officially part of the Jenga line. So, Jenga game where you pull the bricks out and try and keep things from falling. But I guess this is just the opposite, where you're launching the birds trying to see how many bricks you can make fall. Well, most sets look really, really cool. They're supposed to be scenes from the movies. Look really cool. But one set caught my eye, specifically as I've talked about my interest in packaging, and hopefully all you people that are familiar with Star Wars toy collecting will right off the bat get the significance of this packaging. This is the early Angry Bird package, basically going off of the infamous early Bird Star Wars set. Now, this package is unopened as of yet. At the end of this episode, I will open it and take the pieces out one by one and show it. This is kind of a response to a joke my friend was making about the name of this being Opening the Package. Like, okay, when are you going to open the package? And so, okay, here we are. We will have a package being opened on the video pod. Cut to it almost. So the Kenner Early Bird kit was the very first Star Wars merchandising available from Kenner. And what it was you basically got a little cardboard thing with a mail away offer and stuff, and because the toys weren't ready. There was a demand for them, but the toys weren't ready. So you mailed in for Christmas. This was at Christmas time. It almost seemed cheesy, but that's how they did it. You'd mail it away. You'd come back with a set of 4 figures. It was Luke, Chewie, Leia, and R2-D2. Just as, Luke, Leia, Chewie, R2. And a little white tray with pegs to put them on, and you get a cardboard collector thing where supposedly you could display all the figures. Regretfully, I don't have the original Early Bird in my collection, but what I do have is the special commemorative release thing they did back when Star Wars Episode 3 came out. Now, this set was about the same logic. You got a cardboard display to display figures on, and you mailed away for the same 4 figures: Luke, Chewie, R2, and Leia. Wasn't really that impressive a set all. Luke did go back to having telescoping lightsaber kind of thing, but that was about it. Outside of that, the R2, the Chewie, the Leia were not anything special. But, it was a cool commemorative thing. I do have the figures somewhere. I couldn't find them, which is puzzling me. They shipped in a white box. I didn't put them on display because, as I said, they weren't really that impressive. I do have them, but couldn't tell you where they are. I am unable to show you my special commemorative Early Bird kit. But still, what I want to go over today is some of the more interesting mail-away offers. Regretfully, I don't have any of the old ones, because the old ones, if it was figure-wise, it was a figure that was re-released. You had Boba Fett, I remember Admiral Akbar, we had the Emperor, Nine Numb. Those were all originally mail-away figures. Was it Forlom or Zuckuss? Zuckuss. Although it was called Forlom because in the vintage they messed up their names. But the Zuckuss figure with the name Forlom was a mail-away as well. So, the vintage line did a lot of the figures. They also had little fun packs of equipment and little display things and such. Have none of those. I don't have any vintage that I can say specifically mail away. I do have vintage figures like Boba Fett, Zuckuss, and the Emperor and Admiral Akbar. Don't know if they were mail-aways or not. But those were all the, vintage mail-away offers they did. I do remember I got Admiral Akbar and Emperor when I was a kid as mail-aways. I do remember those. Now, when they started Star Wars line, for the 90s, they of course started with mail-aways. In fact, I saw this mail-away offer for the Han Solo and Stormtrooper before I saw any of the actual action figures for the basic line in the stores. I'd seen it was from Fruit Loops, and it was mailed away to you in a white box, just like they used to. They, back in the vintage days, this is what you get, is a white box like this, and the figure would be come to you in a little plastic of some kind, just like this. So this is how it's received. Obviously, this one's been on display and a bit roughed up, but this was really the I think I mailed away and got the first one of these before I saw the toys in the store. So I'm trying to think back. It's been almost 20 years now, so it's a bit hard to remember. But so this figure quite possibly is the first one I got from the new Star Wars line, just because it was the first one available. And it was, like I said, mail away, kind of simple, no gun, which always bothered me. But of course, after you buy a few figures, you have extra guns if you want to give them a gun. But just Han Solo's head, Stormtrooper's body. The arms were different pose than the Stormtroopers you could get. Really not that good of a pose, I always thought. Didn't quite get the pose. And removable helmet, which was really cool. Of course, this was when they were making them overly buff. And after this, they had a few others. They did the Lay's Ghost of Obi-Wan, which shipped in a similar box and was fairly plain. And another thing, this one was a lot of people didn't know about it because, like I said, it was available before the toy line itself was really in the stores. So a lot of people missed out. So he was actually very sought after for a while, especially since they didn't make another one until they did a 3-pack. So, this was it was a figure never made for the vintage line, one of the first figures offered for the new line, and it was hard to come by. So he was actually sought after for a while. I don't think he is now, but that's just the way it goes. I got a few of them. In fact, at this point in time, just about any of the mail-away offers, I had like 2 or 3 of each of them because they were easy to get, really cool. I love mail-away offers, always have. I still love the idea of getting stuff in the mail. So that's another inspiration for this episode, is talking about mail-away offers. Going into the 90s re-release of Star Wars, they were doing the mail-away offers quite a bit. And, figures were the common thing, obviously. I just showed you the Han Solo, the Obi-Wan. They did some special ones online of the Bomar Monk, the Cantina band members, which were all the exact same ones. You would buy a set of 6 and give them each the different instruments. Ula, Jabba's dancer, who was originally mail-away. So they had a lot of mail-aways. So in the 90s line, as I just showed you, the mail-away offers started off in the white boxes, just like the vintage figures, vintage mail-away figures did. But Hasbro, after a few years, thought, hey, let's kind of do something different. And so they started shipping their mail-away figures in more collectible packaging. Alright, here you have Mace Windu, the first Episode 1 figure available. It was a mail-away offer. The other preview was the Snap with Battle Droid, which was actually sold in the stores. And it was in really cool packaging, kind of collectible packaging as well, kind of like this. Of course, here we have a file card, kind of like what I talked about in the last episode. But I like this packaging because this packaging has no tape on it or anything. You can open the package, take the figure out, mess with them, display them separately and stuff. But if you wanted to, okay, I'm taking the display down, or I want to store them, I want to, put them back in package, you can do it and basically not affect the packaging. The packaging could be in perfect shape still. So I love this idea because it makes sense to me. I love packaging. I love keeping packaging as good as possible. I love the idea that I can open the figure without completely destroying the packaging. And that basically, this package can remain perfect even after being used some. So basically, before this, in fact, they were the Ula, a couple other figure sets came in packaging similar to this. Collectible stuff that was made to be, you could display it really well in package and show it off. So, this is where they went. It was a great idea. I love it. I think they did the right thing. Now, before they went that way, though, for a little while, they had once more going back to my last video blog here, talking about the non-toy collectible parts. Hasbro did a lot of little promos, kept trying different promos throughout the years. Sometimes they did them good, sometimes they did them badly. But one of the ones I liked was the freeze frames. Now, for those of you who are not kids 20 years ago, probably have no idea what slides are. Slides are basically, you take a picture, you make a single film frame from it, and you put it in plastic or cardboard frame, like this. This is a slide. Ta-da! We're learning something, kids. And you put these in a slide projector. You can project them up on walls and screens and show off your pictures a lot larger than you can with just regular pictures. It was very popular for a while. I was actually kind of surprised Hasbro did this, because this was well after the fad was over with. And you couldn't get slide projectors. No one was selling them. You had to go to the second-hand stores to buy them, and they sometimes didn't work. I know the one I got didn't work quite right. It didn't spin around like it was supposed to. But that's what you get. So, of course, Hasbro, they had several mail-away offers, because these you would get with the figures. But then you could mail away for a folder for them. I got a couple of those downstairs. They're full, because I have all but one of the freeze frames that came out, which I kind of wish I would have known then, because some of the figures at that time became very valuable because they were hard to find with the freeze frame. But I was working at the Walmart toy department at the time, and so I had some control over ordering and such, so we got all the freeze frames in, basically. The one I didn't get is Panda Baba, and there's a whole story behind that. I don't even know if that made it to the market. I think there was something weird going on. I kind of forget. But so you had this folders for them with little sleeves and a complete checklist. Then they did this. This is not necessarily a projector. As you can see, this is Luke's electronic binocular thing that he used on Hoth. Really cool. It's kind of a little fun prop toy. You can find the, oh look, there's a meteor strike. Turns out to be a Imperial Probe Droid. But anyways, so the idea is you put them in there. The batteries are dead in this one, so regretfully I can't light it up. Look through, and you can see the freeze frame. Kind of cool. Didn't really do too much, and I don't recall very many people ordered these. I don't think they were that popular. So it's kind of a cool little rare piece to have. I have two of them. Back then I ordered at least two of every mail-away offers. I loved, getting multiples, just because at that time I was kind of in the fad of buy one to open, buy one not to open. So I have a lot of stuff like that from this time period that I went after like that. And so this is the 90s mail-away stuff. And Star Wars did a big comeback in the 90s. They had the expanded universe stuff coming into play. They had the announcements of the movies and stuff like that. Star Wars started to really build up again, which is really cool. So then we jump into the new millennia. Star Wars is still going strong, and they're still doing mail-away offers. And for the 30th anniversary, they did the whole year. Every figure they released came with a coin. This is the first figure was a Darth Vader that came with the folder and a coin. So throughout the year, you have all these awesome coins that came out. I have the complete set. It was a bit hard for me to get two of them because I couldn't find the figures in the shelves, and I got the coins without the figures. And they were the Ralph Marquis Stormtrooper, which I had the Stormtrooper from the first release. That was the only re-released figure. And it was then the Ralph Marquis Rebel Soldier I never got. I still don't have that figure, but I have the coin for it. I found it on eBay. Love eBay sometimes. Then, of course, they did other coins. Here you have the movie coins from the prequels and the classic trilogy, and then the black one here, the black and gold one, are expanded universe ones. The gold one was with all the expanded universe. Black one only came with one. I believe that was the Dark Trooper from the video game. Then here you'll see I have, this is the San Diego Comic-Con coin. I had that came out that year. A friend of mine went to it and snagged one for me. Right next to it's a really cool one. That is the Indiana Jones coin, only available at San Diego Comic-Con. So those were convention exclusive coins. This one here is the R2-D2 C3PO Ralph Marquis prototype coin, which came with the figures set that was only available at San Diego Comic-Con. So those ones were harder to find, but these, obviously this isn't mail-away. But, however, what they did do that year was they did a special mail-away offer for 6 coins that you had to buy the vintage packaged figures for commemorative figures. So what you got this nice little collector pack that has a 30th anniversary coin. Then it has 6 coins that you couldn't find in the store. You had to mail away for. So these were the 6 figures that they sold in the commemorative. I forget what they call it right now, but it was a commemorative classic packaging, which led to the vintage packaging they just had out this last year. So, anyway, and there were still more coins. I don't even have all the coins because there were a few, more of the Ralph Marquis prototype and a General Grievous prototype, which obviously Marquis didn't do. Those, came with the figures. There were other special promotional coins here and there given away at conventions and stuff. So getting a complete collection of these coins is really hard. I don't have a complete collection. I have a good collection, obviously, but I don't have all of the ones that came out that year. So the coin collecting, really cool thing. Another one of those things like, talked about in the last blog, non-toy toy collecting aspects. Really cool stuff. The coin stuff they did before. That's why they did it for 30th anniversary, because that was one of the last promotions the vintage line did was figures here with the coins. So that's where the inspiration came from for that. And I just did that. Probably will cut there. So then, recently Star Wars went and did the animated series of Clone Wars. Started off as a movie. I wasn't too impressed. I wasn't too into it. I did, because I'm addicted to mail-away offers, I did send away for Captain Rex figure, which was available before the movie. And I thought, okay, and this was my plan was this will be the only one I get just to have it, because once more, I love mail-away offers. I wasn't that, in this case, I wasn't too interested in the figure. I just figured, I'll have one. It's a mail-away offer, kind of cool. Interestingly enough, I've accidentally acquired another mail-away one. It is can't remember his name, Sergeant Brick. And it comes with a mat, because they were doing the Galactic Battle game with dice. I've actually not played the game. My sons have a few figures with the stuff, but I really didn't care for it. I accidentally got this figure, though. I didn't order it. It was a mail-away offer. Basically, I had mailed away for the Rocket Fire and Boba Fett promotion they did. And I sent away for 2 of them. I got one, and then for some reason they sent me this instead. Needless to say, I contacted, hey, wait a minute, I wasn't supposed to get this. I was allowed to keep this, and they sent me another Boba Fett. So I have this figure. I'll keep it. It's kind of cool. Mail-away offers. Once more, I love mail-away offers, so it's worth keeping. It was the only way you could get the battle mat that comes with it. So it's kind of an interesting little piece. But the Rocket Fire Boba Fett, of course, is the piece to talk about. Because anyone knows, the original mail-away Boba Fett offer was supposed to be rocket firing, but due to the infamous Battlestar Galactica lawsuit. Hayden, seriously. The rocket firing Boba Fett. Now, anyone who is familiar with the vintage Star Wars line recall that the original mail-away Boba Fett offer said it was going to be a rocket firing one. Due to the infamous Battlestar Galactica lawsuit, however, Kenner at the time, because it was Kenner, quickly switched over and took the rocket firing mechanism out. There are prototypes with the rocket firing mechanism in. They go for quite big bucks. But so it was kind of cool that Hasbro said, okay, let's do a commemorative thing and release the Boba Fett. Now, if you look at him, he is done completely in the vintage style. If you compare it, they're very close. This one has more detail than the original Boba Fett. I left the non-firing rocket strapped to his arm because I didn't want to lose it. In the package, it's on his back, but like I say, I don't want to lose it, so I rubber band it to his arm so I could find it. This is does fire, really awesome. Like I said, the detail's better, but the style is vintage, and that's what's most important. Is they were going for, let's do the vintage style. We'll put it on a vintage card. You know, really awesome vintage card here. Love the vintage card. And, you know, people can say they have a vintage style rocket firing Boba Fett now. Great idea for a mail away offer. I don't know why they took so long to do it. Now the 300th figure was a rocket firing Boba Fett, but it wasn't vintage style, it was modern style. They did it right. One of the coolest mail away offers they've done in recent years. Now the next year, they went and did another mail away Boba Fett, which is actually kind of cool in its own way. The prototype armor. Now they've actually done another prototype armor during the the 30th anniversary stuff, but this one is slightly different. As the earlier one was based off of the drawings of Ralph Marquis. This one's based off of the early costume design, because they really did do a all-white costume that they were looking into at the time, and then they decided it looks too much like a Stormtrooper, and they wanted to really distinguish it from the Stormtrooper. That's why they gave him color. But this, if you compare, there are some differences between this and the Boba Fett's at the time. Not much. I was a bit disappointed in that they should not have given him the Wookiee braids. You see the Wookiee braids are still there? Because if you look at the picture, he does not have those. So, you know, that was something obviously added after this stage. But when they did the figure, they did not correct it and undo those, which I was a bit disappointed in. But, you know, not much I can do. So, another cool mail away offer, the Boba Fett. And so, as you can see through the years, they've done a lot of really cool mail away offers. I think I have most of the modern ones, if not all. And I love mail away offers. In fact, I'll probably do another one on other mail away offers or other special promotional figures and stuff, because quite often I find those to be the more interesting figures, because the figures they release in stores are the more mainstream ones that I can't find boring. The ones they're more likely to do as mail-aways are generally the ones that have weird little twists to them that they don't think are going to be as popular, and to me that makes them more interesting normally. So nowadays, a lot of the mail-away stuff is, to me, the more interesting of the figures. So, that is the basic what I have for my video blog. We come to the end of it, where I will open the package and give you my first. You can see my very first response to the toy. So let's see what happens. Dun, dun, dun. Here I am opening this toy for the very first time. Obviously I'm going to keep this packaging as it is too cool. So the packaging itself is supposed to come with 4 figures, which here they are. I always love it when the packaging seems like a huge waste, because these are the 4 figures. This is the package. I don't think they quite needed that much box for it. I actually have a theory on that even though they're wasting money, the main reason to make the bigger packaging is to kind of cheat and get more shelf space for their toys, because, you know, visibility does count in sales, obviously. So, here we go. I hate the tape like this. Okay, alright, so, here we go. We have Luke. We have Leia. We have my oldest son's first words were Chewie and R2-D2. So if you want to see just how geeky of a house we are. So here's R2. I'm surprised they didn't do some design on the egg, or I guess I wanted to emphasize that was an egg. But I kind of wish there was some detail on it. But like I said, I guess when they were doing Angry Birds, they figured let's emphasize that is an egg and not anything else. So that is my guess as to why R2 is kind of plain. And then of course you have Chewie, the biggest one. Let's compare. Not that much bigger. In the stuff I've seen for the game, Chewie's noticeably bigger, but obviously they didn't do that much of a size difference here. So then, I'll take the rest of it out. We get 2 pillars to knock over. Not too exciting. Basically, in all the other sets, you have pigs that go on whatever these come with. And on the back package, they show with a Vader pig and a Stormtrooper pig. Interestingly enough, one of the things that is fun about packaging is you will often see the changes from, obviously, the prototype stage to what was out. So here we see green pillars, here you're given blue. That's actually very common, and that's to me, another one of the cool things about the packaging, is to be able to see stuff like that. And then, of course, we have the slingshot. Simple slingshot. Put a pig on. Okay, so you obviously put the pig on like that. Whoops. Leia! Oh no! You lost Leia! Well, we'll see if the Force is with Luke. And he goes plop. I don't think he got any pigs though. Poor Luke. And then there is a booklet. Love booklets. We talked about booklets last time. See how good it is. Okay, yep. So it doesn't show all. See? That's the thing. It doesn't show all, because I know there's more sets. There's a really cool Death Star set. But here we have the AT-AT set, which looks really awesome. And some of the various pigs that come in that set. Actually, I think that's, yeah, okay. That's all this is. Everything is what comes in that set. All the various pigs. And then on the back, we have the early bird package, which I just got. We got Jabba's Palace. We got the Cantina. And we have the Obi-Wan Darth Vader lightsaber duel, and then this is showing the pigs that are available in the random package, the mystery bags, which have 2 exclusive ones. It says Han Solo Carbonite and Wedge Antilles Bird are apparently the exclusives that you can only find in the mystery bag. Ooh. So, love booklets, wish it had everything in the set, doesn't. So yeah, a bit disappointed that the book doesn't have everything. That's one of the things that I'm kind of disappointed in the modern collector books, is they only have bits and pieces of the collection instead of the whole collection like they used to. You know, back in the day, vintage Star Wars, vintage G.I. Joe, vintage Transformers, those books would have everything that was available at that time. Much cooler, showed you it all. This only shows the highlights. Kind of disappointing. So, that is the basics for it. I'm going to quickly cut to showing you the playability of this set before I cut out. Okay, so here's the basic setup. I got the pillars. Now this is a pig from a gumball machine that my son got. Kind of cool little eraser. I think it's supposed to be eraser, but it comes all apart. Little pig. So we'll have a pig to attack. So we'll put him on the pillars. And we will fire Luke. Oops, too far. Not too surprising. See, Luke, R2 is small. He'll probably be better at this distance. Nope. Two down.
Hey, let me try.
Alright, we're going to let... Yeah, that's two. Actually, Chewie's probably better. What am I thinking? There are 2. We got 1. Okay, fire Leia.
When do we have to go down? Less. Riley Pig.
Gonna try Chewie again.
It's because of the distance.
Okay, one more time. Come on, get the pig.
Get the pig.
Okay, I gotta try to get the pig.
And if you don't...
Got him! Yeah! Pigs down, we won. So obviously, kind of a fun little toy. The expansion sets, bigger sets probably make it a lot funner, and I have a young boy who seems to want to run off and have some time playing with it himself. Well, thank you for watching my little video blog here. Opening the package, toy collecting with the Brazee-Cannon. As always, here's the email if you'd like to contact me and tell me about it. I've not really gotten any feedback yet, so I'm hoping to hear from some of you soon if you're watching. I do notice I have a few people watching, so I know that I'm not doing this to no one. Obviously, this hasn't become a viral video as of yet, but I'm still enjoying doing it. So, thank you, my small following.